Hey everyone, it's Ed Rocky here with another hardcore Nuzlocke, this time of Pokemon Black. My first foray into 2D on this channel. The Gen 5 games were really interesting to me. What might actually be my favorite game in the series? Well, the sequels are actually some of my least favorites, which I know surprises some people. I've never specifically played Black before though, so I'm really excited to try it. While my first run was really tough, I haven't had any over-the-top difficult challenges yet, so I'm really interested in this one. Rock might be my least favorite type in the series. It's got high defense, but so many weaknesses, awful special, and a bunch of rock types need trade evolutions, which is great if you had friends growing up, but a lot less so if you were lame like me and had nobody to trade with. There's something else that'll make this run tough. There are 5 catchable lines in Black. A little sucky, but not awful. But, because of my no legendaries rule, we can't catch Striaton, and we have to choose one of Arkin and Turtauga when picking fossils, making the other inaccessible. This brings our number of usable lines down to 3. And, on top of that, we won't be able to get a Gigalith this run, so we're stuck with Bulldor. We really don't have a lot of room to work with. My prediction before starting this challenge is that play was going to be the hardest part of it, but I guess we'll see when it happens, right? Before we begin, here are the rules of the Nuzlocke. You can only catch the first rock type encounter in each area. I'm playing with Species Clause, so if I catch a Pokemon, I can't catch another of that species even if the rules allow it. I can separately catch Pokemon for HM use, but can't use them for battles. If a Pokemon faints, it counts as dead and can no longer be used. No items can be used in battle except ones previously attached to a Pokemon. The battle mode must be on set. Finally, there's no leveling past the cap of the gym leader's ace. If a Pokemon does this, it can no longer be used until that gym is over. And with that out of the way, let's begin! Oh, one other thing. Because no rock Pokemon appears before the first gym, I decided to, through totally legit methods of course, make my starter a Roggenrola by replacing Tepig. Both of my rivals chose to battle me because of my main character energy, and I take them down. Soon they'll be scary, but not quite yet. I learned after the battle that it has a lax nature, so plus defense and minus special defense. Really maximizing both sides of the type, I guess. That won't make the first gym any more fun, but let's see how it goes. I nicknamed Roggenrola Apollo. We get our Pokedexes, and now the run can really take off. My friends decide that they want to do a catching challenge, but I'm just stuck with Apollo for now, so I have to lose by default. In Accumula Town, I meet up with Juniper, who totally ignores Bianca. She really gets it rough this gen. I hear Team Plasma speak, and I don't know, they sound pretty compelling. And sounds insane, but I battle him and land 2 critical hits to crush his team, which is really kind of wild. My mom calls me to hide that she's right behind me, but honestly, why'd she even go so far out here just to give me the running shoes? I'm trying to plan how to stay under the level cap before the first gym, when all of a sudden Bianca ambushes me. Apollo was barely above half health to start this fight, and that was terrifying. I used Headbutt on her Lillipup, who got sent low before she used a potion. Next turn, I used a Tackle, which sent her back to the yellow, but then her final turn, she used Leer. Not good. Snivy outsped 2 and hit Apollo with another Leer as a Headbutt brought to the yellow. Next turn, it hits a Vine Whip to send Apollo to 9 HP. Terrifying. I take it out to win though at least. My battle against Chirin goes less well, however. His Oshawott starts and hits Apollo to just over half with Water Gun. Better than I thought it'd be, but still really scary. I respond with a Headbutt to take it to the yellow, but an Oranberry restores its health. I take it down after another Water Gun sends Apollo to 3 HP. Scary. Purloin comes out and hits me with the Growl as Headbutt takes it to half. But then next turn, uses Assist, which leads it to use Water Gun. Ugh, I couldn't even get to the gym in attempt 1. Jeez. In attempt 2, Apollo has a neutral hardy nature, but somehow has a much weaker attack nonetheless. Bianca's battle before Striaton goes similarly to the first attempt, but it's much easier. I take out Snivy in 2 Headbutts after it only takes off a third of Apollo's health. The Chirin fight was totally different though. This time I leveled Apollo up to 13. She outspeeds Oshawott actually, and hits a Headbutt to take it to a quarter before its Oranberry kicks in. She takes a Water Gun and it takes her just over half. So now only 1 Headbutt is all that's needed to take it down. Already this battle is going much better. Purloin's out and takes a Headbutt low, then uses an Assist and gets Water Gun. Ugh, but it only does 8 damage, so Apollo could even take another. But she doesn't need to as 1 more Headbutt takes Purloin out even after a Growl. Now it's on to the gym. Because I replaced Tepig with Roggenrola, I'm fighting Cress. This battle's probably going to be the toughest before play, because his Pampo only knows Water Gun as an attacking move. It's just much less random than my battle with Chirin. That said, I have a brand new tool at my disposal here. At level 14, Apollo learns Rock Blast. It's gonna need a little luck, but at least we have a stab move and a pretty good one at that. Cress's Lillipup starts with a workup as a Rock Blast hits twice to take it to half. It hits with a bite, but no flinch as Rock Blast connects to take it down. Apollo levels up, which isn't against the rules because it started at the cap, and now it's going into Panpour with only 6 HP less than the max. Panpour uses Workup, and Rock Blast hits twice to take it just under half. It's a little scary. I just need Rock Blast to hit more than twice now. Panpour hits Water Gun, and I survive with 1 HP! Wow. An Oranberry gives Apollo more health, not that it matters, and I use Rock Blast. 3 hits! Okay, Panpour's down for the count and I finally get my first badge. Fennel immediately jumps me after leaving the gym, takes me to the shadiest lab I've ever seen, and I'm a scientist, so that's saying something, and then just asks me to go to an abandoned yard to get some Dream Mist. Incredibly sketchy all around. I show up at the Dream Yard and Team Plasma is just wailing on Amuna. I have to fight them, but I forgot to heal from the gym battle. Nevertheless, I'm able to beat both grunts without taking damage, which I'm proud of. We then learned that Team Plasma is surprisingly evil, which in my opinion is a cop-out of one of the most interesting conflicts this series ever had. I make it to Route 3, but we have a problem now. There are 2 girls blocking my way, and the only way I can get past them is if I have a double battle. After some thought, I decided the only fair thing to do was use my level 2 pickup Lillipup and then just not attack. He got taken out in the first turn, and Apollo just finished the 2 Purloin off. Right after this battle though, Chirin ambushes me. This was terrifying because I didn't heal. Second time this happened this round, I know. And I was thinking ahead and just didn't realize this fight happened. Somehow it was way easier than last time though. I hit a 2-hit Rock Blast as his Oshawott used Leer, and then a 3-hit one as it used Water Sport to take it out. Then after a miss, I was able to knock off his Purloin too, taking only 3 points of damage total. I guess the real lesson here is that more move options isn't necessarily always better. Anyways, Team Plasma steals this rando's Pokemon. Seriously, they didn't even give her a name. And Chirin and I have to get it back. We chase them into Wellspring Cave, where we fight a series of grunts. They all go down pretty easily, but now a big thing happens for this run. Our first rock encounter! Because Apollo can't naturally appear this early, I'm treating it as a fake Pokemon, meaning I'll be trying to catch a real Roggenrola here for fairness, and I quickly find one. I catch it and I name him Creed. Creed has an Adamant nature, which is awesome. It's plus attack minus special attack, just perfect for it. I'm a little sad to see Apollo box, but now the run can truly begin. I level up Creed a little and then head for Nicrine City. I hustle someone out of a Mystic Water for later. But then N shows up to battle me. With 2 Pokemon who are very strong against Creed, this battle might even be scarier than Lenora. His Pidove lands a quick attack, but then I take it out with a Rock Blast pretty easily, causing me to level up. But now the easy part is over. He sends out Tympole, which I wasn't expecting, though it's probably the better move. It uses Growl, and now I just need Rock Blast to hit and enough times for it to KO. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, we got it. That was lucky. Timber is next, and I'm not really sure how to handle it. I go for a Headbutt, and it looks like it's going to be a 3-hit KO move after Growl. It hits me with Leer. Low Kick could be deadly, but I don't really have anything I can do. I go for another Headbutt, and it brings Timber to a 3rd after it uses another Leer. Okay, I just need it to not use Low Kick. Focus Energy! Great! And it survives on a sliver! It uses Low Kick next, and takes me to just under half. I mean, okay, I'll take it. A Headbutt takes it out for the win. I definitely got lucky, but there wasn't a ton I could do really that different, other than maybe setting up on Pidove. Now I can face the second gym. Lenora's scary for me. She's been a Nuzlocke killer in past non-hardcore challenges I've done, so I'm hesitant. That said, I think I'm gonna win because other than Bite and Crunch, she doesn't actually have a lot of ways to hurt me. I lost a recording of this battle for a second, so finding it was something of a run-saving miracle for me. Anyways, let's talk about it. Lenora sends out Herdier, who lowers my attack. It hits with Bite, but I don't flinch and hit a fairly weak Rock Blast in return. Then I hit another to take it just above the healing range as it misses a takedown. The next one connects, but I'm able to take it out after. Creed hits level 20. Watchog is next and hits a Crunch to take me to half, and gets the defense drop. I get a crit on Rock Blast to take it to half. It misses a Hypnosis as I take it into the healing range. Lenora uses a Super Potion, and my Rock Blast takes it to 2/3. It lands Hypnosis, but Creed's Chesto Berry activates, and it hits another Rock Blast to put it in the low yellow. We then trade misses, and it uses Crunch to get me to 8 HP. Okay, I need to hit this turn. And I do! Rock Blast hits and takes Watchog out! I don't really have a ton of room to work with ahead of Berg, but I've beat Lenora now at least. I only have 2 levels of room before I hit the next cap of 23, and I've got a ton of battles ahead of me. So, as a result, I play it safe and only fight the battles I absolutely have to, meaning mostly the Team Plasma battles. And I ultimately make it to Castelia City at level 22. So, a lot better than I thought it'd be, actually. In Castelia City, Bianca gets a Pokemon stolen, and god, she's just so helpless. So, I fight a Grunt to get it back, getting Creed to level 23. I get to Berg a touch under level 24, but I've got another problem now, Levan. A critical Razor Leaf will take Creed to Sturdy, and a normal one will still take him below half. I can't set up on Whirlipede either. I'll definitely need luck to get past it, and I get just about the luckiest run you could expect, and then lose to Levani nonetheless. Ending attempt 2. Just brutal. Attempt 3 gets me back to Berg, and I try to think about how to increase my chances here. So I ultimately decide to give Creed a Quick Claw in the hopes that it has a chance to outspeed. Whirlipede hits with the Pursuit, and I respond with a lucky crit Rock Blast to take it out in 2 hits. Levani is out next. I don't outspeed, and it hits me hard with the Razor Leaf to just a 3rd HP. And Rock Blast misses! Ugh, I've lost. But then Razor Leaf misses. Rock Blast hits 3 times to take Levani to the yellow, and then Quick Claw activates and I land Rock Blast to take it out! I cannot stress enough how badly I needed that. Dwebble is last. It hits a Smackdown for a fraction, but I hit a 3-hit Rock Blast to get the badge! Creed evolves into Boldore 2, which is just the cherry on top. I don't think I've ever found a Berg battle to be this terrifying. Glad I'm done with it. Bianca calls me up to say she wants a battle, and while I appreciate the advance notice for once, I decided to make a detour first to get an Eviolite for Creed. Because it can't evolve anymore this run, I think it'll be really useful for it as the game progresses. It doesn't even matter for this battle though. Herdier used Odor Sloop and Servine used Grow, but I took out each of her Pokemon with a single set of Rock Blasts. I was just cackling each time with the luck. There's only one problem though, which is that Creed is now just 1 level under the cap with another rival fight still to come. I have no choice though, I have to go into Cheer. And the fight with him is also really chill actually. Pidove uses Leer before Rock Blast ends it, Duat uses Razor Shell to take off a 3rd but no defense drop, and a critical +3 hit Rock Blast takes it out too. Pensier goes down easy after hitting me with the Yawn, and now it's just Liepard. I want to take it out this turn because of the Yawn, and it knows Sand Attack. But Rock Blast makes short work of it. The only problem now, though, is that Creed is level 27, even though we still haven't made it to Nimbasa. Is this run even going to be doable? Well, if we were even a little bit earlier, we'd be finished, but we're right next to Desert Resort. I stick a Smoke Ball on Creed, avoid all trainers, and get to the entrance, where, after a bit of searching, I find what I'm looking for. I catch a Dwebble! I name her Lang. Lang has an impish nature, meaning plus defense and minus special attack. Pretty solid, honestly. But that's not all! In Relic Castle, I encounter a woman who gives me one of 2 fossils. I can choose between Arcan and Turtago. I would love Arcan, but I think Turtago would probably be better here. We'll see, I guess. I ran back to Nakreen to revive it, and I name him Drago. Drago has a naive nature, meaning plus speed and minus special defense. Not great for a tanky Pokemon, but not awful either. I'm also pretty happy as I got Solid Rock as an ability. And that's my team! There are now no more encounters left to get! I head into Nimbasa City, and Lang helps me get a sweet bike off some Team Plasma victim. I then see the sights. I check out the musical, which I've never really liked, and then watch Bianca's dad try to stop her from being a trainer like halfway through her journey. It's kinda wild that I'm just standing a few feet away and don't intervene though. N tells me he's Team Plasma's king, which is both surprising and not at all. I then have to fight him. I lead with Lang. His Sandal goes for Embargo, but a Bug Bite takes it out. Darumaka is next, so I switch into Drago. After a bit of ridiculous flinching, I get off Rock Tomb and then just use Aqua Jet to take it out. Scraggy comes out, but I decide to just try with Drago. It lands Swagger as I use Dig, but somehow it hits! Next turn I get Hidden Confusion, plus Scraggy hits a Brick Break to bring Drago to the yellow. I can't take another one of these. I have to hit Aqua Jet. And I snap out of Confusion to do so, taking Scraggy out! Perfect timing. Sigilif is next, so I switch to Lane, who takes a Psybeam for huge damage. Never mind, Creed is in now. It takes about a third from a Psybeam, and then gets outspeed to get hit again. But no confusion, and it hits Rock Blast to win. I had much less room to work with in that battle than I'd have liked, but at least it's over now. I grinded up for Alessa. As I made my way to her, I realized I didn't have a great strategy for her Substrika, so if I was going to win, it'd be on the margins. I opened with Lane, who got hit below half with the Volt Switch before its Oran Berry activated to bring it back to the green. It hit a Stealth Rock, then it got hit by another Volt Switch to take it to the red as it hit a Smackdown. I predicted a heal, so I just switched to Creed freely. Creed loses a little bit under a quarter to Volt Switch, takes out one of the Emolgas with Rock Blast, and then gets hit to half with another Volt Switch. Substrika is in, and I need this Rock Blast to do good damage. Well, it hits, and it takes it out! I was really lucky, and I don't know if I'd have gotten it without the Stealth Rod. Now Emolga 2 is back in and hits a Volt Switch to bring Creed a little under a quarter. I need Rock Blast to hit now, and it does, for the win! I was about a hit away from losing 2 of my only 3 Pokemon. This definitely doesn't give me a ton of hope for play. I leave Nimbasa and encounter Chirin, who wants to battle again. I normally love all the rival fights, but it's getting really hard to deal with so many of them on a run like this. This fight in particular might be my hardest against Chirin yet, because Duat finally learned a special move. I open with Drago against his Liepard. Liepard spams Pursue, but I'm able to take it out with 2 digs. Duat is next. It goes for Water Pulse, taking Drago to the red, and getting confused! But that's okay, so long as Crunch hits. And it does, taking Duat just above half. Not a bad place to be. I switch Ling in, who gets hit with a critical Water Pulse to bring it to Sturdy. But this is more or less what I have to hope for. It's time to see if it paid off. I switch in Creed, and Duat goes for Fury Cutting. Perfect! Now I have the chance to get off a hit. Water Pulse brings him to the yellow, but Rock Blast hits and takes Duat out. A little lucky, but the strategy worked. Pansear is in now. He uses Yawn as Creed takes it out with another Rock Blast. Now Tranquil is last. But I'm worried it'll use Detect, causing Creed to succumb to Yawn. I'm also worried about switching out though because of how close the rest of my team is to fainting. So I click Rock Blast, and it uses Detect. Ugh. I don't wake up next turn as it uses Air Cutter. Then it uses Detect for some reason after that. But this makes the Detect it uses on the turn I wake up fail, and I take it out with Rock Blast for the win. Another fairly ugly Chirin win in the books. We meet the champion, who really has such aggressive some dude energy. Before he makes us destroy 2 preschoolers he claims to have helped love Pokemon. Good luck with that after we crush them. I should also talk to you now about something you might have noticed. I'm using an EXP share on a Lillipup I caught early on because I wanted a way to manage experience without constantly being pressed up against the cap. I also want to use it for pickup when I'm not grinding, so this may help me get better items from it. It's not really against the rules, especially because I'm not using it in battle, but I just wanted to bring it up for transparency. We meet Clay and he makes us do his job, even though we're kids. Team Plasma even steals the grunts we captured in the end, so it was all useless. After a stressful trek through the Driftveil gym, we get to Clay. Clay is the trickiest matchup of this part of the game by a sizable amount. All of his Pokemon are strong against at least 2 of my team members, and he has both nemesis of this run, Palpitoad and Excadrill. I can't hit Palpitoad super effectively at all either, which stinks. After some brainstorming though, I come up with an idea. I open with Drago, who immediately gets hit with Swagger. Just what I wanted. He responds with Mystic Water Boosted Scald to take Krokorok out. I wanted to see if I could get more attack boosts, but this'll have to do. Palpitoad is next, and Drago snaps out of confusion to hit an Aqua Jet, bringing it under half. I'm praying it won't drop my accuracy, but it doesn't even use Muddy Water. It goes for Aqua Ring, which I'm not complaining about. Aqua Jet takes it out next turn. Now it's just Excadrill. This thing can hit hard, so I need to be careful. Aqua Jet brings it low, and it just uses Tongue Claws. I basically won. Clay heals a couple times, and Aqua Jet keeps bringing it right back until the third one, when I go crit to take it out. That wasn't part of the strategy, but, well, if he dies, he dies. 5 badges. I'd actually thought about using Shell Bell instead, but remembered how bad it was last run, so I decided to forgo it. Leaving Driftveil, I run into Bianca. This battle is actually pretty hard because her Servine and Panpour stab super effective special moves, so I have to game plan. On top of that, it starts hailing. Well, let's see what we can do. I open with Creed, who gets an attack drop from Intimidate. It hits 2 hits of Rock Blast, so it's looking like I need a 3 to 4 hit next time. But I get a single crit, and that takes it out. Nice! Bianca sends out Panpour next, and I don't want to use Drago yet, so Creed's gotta take it. Rock Blast just barely doesn't take it out as it goes for Water Sport. But now Bianca just Hyper Potions. Wasn't expecting that, but I'll take it. Another Rock Blast ends it. Now it's Servine. Creed served his purpose this battle, and I don't think Servine can take him out without luck. So I go for a Mud Slap as it uses Leech Seed. Next, I switch to Link, who gets hit with Leaf Tornado to around half with Hail. But I think I can take it, so let's see what Bug Bite can do. Just short into the yellow, ugh! He uses Leech Seed. Leaf Tornado brings me low, but now I can take it out with Bug Bite. Musharna is next, so I just switch to Drago. Musharna sets up defense curls, but now Crunch has taken it to the yellow. But it gets off a Hypnosis. Ugh, I'm vulnerable here. But okay, Bianca heals. Next, more setup. And now I outspeed? And crit with Crunch! Bye-bye Musharna and hello win! It's really wild how no rival battle has been safe thus far, though. And pulls me aside to tell me he wants to battle me later, which, why not just do it now? Seems unnecessary. When we finally do battle, it's actually easier than my last couple battles with him, but I didn't play it great. I open with Drago, who gets hit hard with Power Gem before a Scald and Aqua Jet take Boulder out. N sends in Joltik, which I wasn't expecting, so I switched to Creed. I took it out with a Rock Blast next turn, then Ferroseed came in. I didn't have a great move to hit it, so I just spammed Bulldoze, allowing it to set up and get Creed to half. After I finally took it out, N sent in Clink. Creed got hit to 12 HP with a Gear Grind, and so I have to switch, even as a Bulldoze gets Clink so close to fainting. I switch Langan, and Gear Grind takes her below half. I really need to outspeed now, but if anyone on my team can do it, it's Langan. And we outspeed and hit Dig to win! In retrospect, I probably should have switched to Drago. And I also didn't realize that Gear Grind was only a 2-hit move, so definitely could have been smarter there. But at least we won relatively unscathed. In Mistalchon City, Skyless somehow spots a Pokemon on the Celestial Tower, but I genuinely don't understand how she saw it, pilot or not. Was it like a Wailord or something? Anyways, I get to ring a bell, so I'm happy. Skyless says this makes me kind and strong, which, okay. I head to the gym, which is definitely just a whole bag of safety hazards. I'm shocked they make kids go through it. While training, Ling evolves into a Crustle. And now, I take my cannon-induced trauma-riddled body and go fight Skyla. Even though my team's been struggling so far, this fight's gonna be easy. I pity the fool who thinks we can't win. I open with Creed. Swoobat can't do much to me, especially given Heart Stamp didn't flinch, so I set up Sandstorm. Swoobat goes for Amnesia, so I just take it out with Rock Slide. Swanna is next, and uses Bubble Beam. Thanks to Eviolite and Sandstorm, it doesn't even bring me to half. Rock Slide 2 takes it out, and Pheasant is last. Air Slash actually flinches Creed, taking him below half, but that's the worst it can do. Next turn, Creed doesn't flinch, and Rock Slide takes it out and gets the win. Skyless says she fought at full force, which is a little sad. N jumps me as I leave the gym to deal with his baggage. He doesn't do anything though, so I just head to cheer him. I use basically the strategy you've been seeing, Sandstorm and then Rock Blasting the Duat. After it's taken out, I just switch to Lang, who handles the other two. Twist Mountain sucks. Almost all the trainers there have teams strong against mine, so I don't want to fight them yet. I'm able to sneak through using the fact that it's winter now to snake around everyone. I get to Icirus City and just grind at the gym before heading to the very surf spots. Along the way, Drago evolves into Caracosta, making this the final iteration of my team. After that, I decide to take on Bryson. I use my usual strat here, Sandstorm and then Rock Blast his Pokemon. Vanillish uses Acid Armor and then hits me with Mirror Shot for an accuracy drop as I take it out with a crit. Beartic hits Swagger. meaning my boosted Rock Blast only needs 2 hits to take it out. I miss Cryogonal as it sets up a fight, then hit it next turn to take it out in 2 hits. After just launching rocks at his team a few times, Bryson tells me I have a stout heart. I leave the gym, and the Shadowed Triad tell me to go to Dragon Spiral Tower. Bianca and Chiron are just sort of there. Team Plasma tries to stop me from ascending the tower even though they were the ones who told me to do it in the first place. When I get to the top, En's awakened Zekrom nearly killed us all. He tells me I need to be the other hero and awaken Reshiram. Chiron and Bryson are just there again. Chiron surprises me outside of Relic Castle, and I thought we'd have to battle for a second. I was not ready. Thankfully, he just wants to talk. Team Plasma again tries to stop me from doing the thing En told me to do. Pick up your minds, jeez. We make it all the way to the bottom just to find out our rock is in another castle. I'm just giving it because of my aggressive main character energy, I guess, and then I head to Opalucid City. Along the way, I run into Bianca. This is probably the hardest rival fight of the run. She has a Stoutland with Intimidate and Roar, and then a Superior and Semi-Port, each of which can take out most of my team. I couldn't do the fight normally at all as a result, and I just totally wiped. The next 3 attempts brought me back to Bianca, but I couldn't make it through any of them. It took me a while to figure out what to do, but after several days of scheming and just, frankly, a rage quit, I had an idea for attempt 7 that I'm kicking myself for not having thought of sooner. I need to get stronger. At level 43, Ling learns Shell Smash, so I brought her right up to the cap and changed her moveset a little. I set up Sandstorm and Substitute as Stoutland set up a workup and used Crunch. Next, I used Shell Smash twice. Stoutland broke my Substitute after the second, but now we're all set up. I used a Silver Powder boosted X-Scissor to take out Stoutland in a single hit. Bianca's bulkiest Pokemon is gone. Simipour is up next. If I can take it out, we're good. And it's gone! 2 more X-Scissors get rid of Superior and Musharna, and now I can finally move on. I can't begin to tell you how excruciating the sequence was. I'm glad that battle turned out so easy, but I was really struggling there. I get onto Two Blind Bridge to find Ghetsis has been waiting apparently the entire time I was fighting Bianca for me to show up, just so he could tell me he's not actually interested in getting rid of Pokemon. Again, abandoning the pretty interesting moral conflict of these games. In Opalucid City, we see Ghetsis give a totally confounding speech. After getting a history lesson from Drayden and Iris, I go to take on Drayden. I was so focused on the upcoming fight, I just forgot to set up by accident. I'm not that optimistic about my chances as a result, though I at least had the presence of mind to box all my HM Pokemon to prevent a Dragon Tail based reset. Drayden leads Fracture, and I lead Drago. Drago hits a Rock Slide as Fracture set up Dragon Dance. It doesn't even really capitalize though, because it just uses Dragon Rage next turn and I take it out. Drago levels up. Jotagon is next, and a Rock Slide takes it just above half, but at least I get a flinch. Another Rock Slide takes it to the right, but it uses Revenge, taking Drago to a third. Anticipating a Hyper Potion, I switch to Creed for my now predictable strategy of spamming Rock Blast. I get 2 hits with my first taking a third off, but it uses Revenge, which actually doesn't even do half. Another Rock Blast brings it to the right, so Drayden Hyper Potions and I repeat my strategy, taking it out in a couple more times. I'm facing Haxorus now, at over half health somehow. I get 3 hits with Rock Blast to take it to over half, before Dragon Tail brings Drago back in. Haxorus uses Dragon Dance as I hit a Rock Blast, bringing it to the right. I'm pretty sure Drayden's out of Hyper Potion, so I go for Aqua Jet and take it out. We got the final badge! Now comes another of the more challenging parts of the game, but at least we have a relatively easier, but still really difficult Chiron fight first. He leads with Unpheasant, and I lead with Creed. Unpheasant stalls out a ton of my Rock Blast PP, but I take it down. Now comes Samurai, but this one doesn't know any special moves, so it's not awful. After Creed takes an Aqua Tail to under half, I switch to Drago, who takes it out in 2 Rock Slides after getting taken into a third with 2 Aqua Tails. Liepard is next, and a critical Rock Slide takes it out in 1 hit as it just sets up Taunt. Finally, I miss an Aqua Tail with Simisear, so it gets off 2 Flame Bursts, but Drago puts it in its place with Rock Slide. And now, Victory Road is open up. I love this Victory Road. It doesn't give me a lot of trouble, though I'm careful with which trainers I face. I make it to the league alright, but now I have to train my team up. My team's frailty and lack of strength given their low numbers is really starting to show. I leveled my team up to 50. The level of each Elite Four member is 8. My Pokemon can gain levels as long as they don't get past level 54. The level of Ghetsis is Hydreigon. As I enter the Elite Four, I decide if I lose any of these fights, the run ends here. As a result, I decide to go for the only member I know I can beat first, Caitlyn. Caitlyn's intro is probably my favorite in the series. After she gets out of bed, it's time to battle. I send in Ling to meet her Reuniclus. I use Shell Smash and it hits a Psychic to send Ling all the way to 20 HP. Yikes. Now or never, I guess. I use X-Scissor and take it out. The Rock Slide gets rid of Sigilyph. Another X-Scissor takes out Gothitelle, and then a final one KOs Musharna. 1 down, 3 to go. Next I go for Grimsley. Even though most of his team can take out most of mine, he's not the hardest to strategize around. I swap Rock Slide for Dig on Ling and enter. His Scrafty uses Sand Attack, which is less than ideal, but I get a substitute out. Scrafty uses Crunch, but it doesn't even break Substitute. Then I use Shell Smash twice. At this point I can take out his whole team. X-Scissor takes out Scrafty. Crocodile's Intimidate doesn't even affect Ling. X-Scissor takes it out too. I change it up and use Dig on Bisharp, and now it's just Liepard. Fake Out finally breaks my substitute, but I miss my X-Scissor. One more does the job though, and we're halfway through. I decide to do Chantal next. There's not really a great order to go, and here, both of these final battles are going to suck. This one will just suck a lot less. Before the battle started, I decided to use a couple of my rare candies to get Drago to 52. Chantal's team is really bulky and can mess mine up in a lot of ways, so I decided to play it super safe. I sent Drago in against Cofagrigus, who hits it to about a third with the Shadow Ball after a Shell Smash. Drago's basically all set to go. He uses a Crunch to take out Cofagrigus, getting Mummy as an ability. Hopefully nobody can hit him now. He outspeeds Jellicent, and takes it out with no Cursed Body. Galert gets outsped and eliminated too. Chandelure is too slow, and Crunch doesn't even activate Flame Body as I win. Float like a butterfly, sting like a sea turtle, I guess. Chantal apologizes for the battle, which, please, no need at all. I needed this. It's just Marshall left. I am terrified of this battle. His whole team knows both fighting and rock moves, meaning all of his Pokemon can hit any of mine for super effective damage. Only one Pokemon on my team can learn any of the available flying or psychic moves to take him out. But it needs some setup. I guess we'll see how this goes. I send in Ling against his throw. I try to go for a substitute, and Stone Edge misses. I use the Shell Smash as he uses Bulldoze, but my substitute holds. Now I can go for another. Bulldoze finally breaks it though. I decide to go for another substitute, after which Stone Edge misses again! I go for Sandstorm next, and Throw breaks this up. Guess it's go time now. I use a Sharp Beak boosted Aerial Ace and I take it out. I thought that would happen though. Sock is up now, and I create one more substitute. Sock breaks my sub, but then Sandstorm damages it, breaking Sturdy. I use Aerial Ace to take it down. Conkeldurr is really bulky, so Aerial Ace may be a range here. But it's not! We got it! Now I just gotta hope Min Chao doesn't outspeed. And it doesn't! Aerial Ace swept Marshall's whole team. I'm kinda in disbelief if I'm being honest. That battle was so close and so lucky. I'm gonna treasure that one for a while. I've made it to Alder, but N's already beat him. Zekrom is responding to the conflict, but N tells it to stop, and it does? Okay. The Plasma Castle rises up and destroys the League in one of my favorite cutscenes from the whole series. Tyrion lets us all know that he beat the League, and good for you, buddy, bigger things at hand. Maybe not the best timing. The Sages try to defeat me, but the gym leaders stop them. The Striaton leaders are nowhere to be found, which really tracks given how lame they are. In the castle, I see N's room, and all I want to know is what his jump shot looks like, to be honest. Ghetsis meets me before I have to fight N. I'm really dreading his fight, but there's not much I can do at this point. I go. Reshiram awakens, and I have to catch it. I loaded up my party beforehand so I don't have to deal with it. I just use a Master Ball and I name it No. Now it's time for the fight with N. I spent a ridiculous amount of time planning for it, but I finally found something I think could work. I know Zekrom loves setting up light screen, so I think there's a workable strategy in here. I send in Ling, who loses a third to Fusion Bolt, less than I expected, and I use the next 2 turns to Shell Smash before hitting an Expert Belt boosted dig to take it out. Karakofta is next, but this one has Sturdy. I hit it with Dig to get it to 1, as Stone Edge misses. Okay, good. I forgot N had a healing item, so I go for X-Scissor and pray he doesn't use Aqua Jet, but of course he full restores. X-Scissor takes him to the right, so I try again, and this time no heal. Rockslide takes out Archeops next, and then Vanillix too. Now we've basically won. Dig takes out Klinkling, and X-Scissor takes out Zoroark, so we've made it to Ghetsis. Ghetsis sends out Cofagrigus as I send out Ling. I switch to Creed though as Toxic misses. Then we trade Toxics as Creed attempts to hit his Stone Edge. He finally gets one, but faints immediately after from a Psychic. RIP, bud. Drago's out next, and I take the moment to set up 2 Shell Smashes as Ghetsis heals. Drago got Toxic though, so he's on a timer. I hit with Crunch after a Protect stall, and then Cofagrigus goes down. Rockslide takes out Hydreigon and Bouffalant. Seismitoad is out next, and Crunch takes it so close, but it's not enough. Earthquake takes Drago down. RIP again. I think I might be able to get a heal out of Ghetsis, but no dice. He uses Muddy Water as Ling Shell Smashes. I was hoping for one more. No accuracy drop though, thankfully. I used an X-Scissor to take it out. Dig got rid of Bisharp next, and now it's just Electros. I used X-Scissor for one final attack and... No! No! And Flamethrower takes out Ling, ending my run. And well, that's all folks. Truthfully, I might have been able to get better luck by a little in another attempt. Maybe Toxic could have missed again, or Crunch would have been arranged for healing on Seismitoad. But this one was incredibly lucky already. I probably shouldn't have made it past either N or Marshall. The truth is, a combination of Tufu Pokemon plus mess stats and move pools really hurt me by the end, and I could feel it in just about every battle from the final Bianca fight on. This run was getting really interesting though. I'm glad my attempt rates are getting better, even as this challenge was so tough. Caracasa was a really interesting Pokemon to use here, and it's wild that it turned into my beater. Crustle I enjoy in general, but its relatively diverse moveset here really turned it into such a fun weirdo. Finally, I've never really used a Bulldor in a run before, and this one was a delight. It became my worst Pokemon by a decent amount at the end, but essentially from after the 3rd gym through the 7th, it was just incredible. My Rock Blast Sandstorm combo was one of the dumber gimmicky strats I've used, but I adored it. Other than between Gym 6 and 7, pretty much nowhere in this run was easy, and that's a real struggle with rock types. It made the challenge both fun and exhausting at times, but I'm glad I tried it. Maybe I'll revisit it sometime if I get a little bit better at Pokemon. And that's a wrap! If you liked this video, please feel free to give a like or subscribe to my channel. If you have any suggestions or things you'd like to see me do, please feel free to leave a comment, at me on Twitter, or email me with your suggestion at ed40plays@gmail.com. And with that, this challenge is done. Hopefully the next one goes a little bit better than this did. Catch you all next time!